Hello, this is Wojtek with ROGace, and today we're going to look at the 60-foot court, which is also commonly known as an orange court. So on the 60-foot court, we have the same as regular court, but we have two main sides. We have a deuce side, which is right here, right? And since tennis is played as a sport across cross court, on the other side it's reversed, so that becomes a deuce side on the other side. And then we have an add side right here, add or advantage side. This is advantage side and add side. So right here, looking at the lines themselves, we have a singles line, so we have a deuce side singles line right here. We have a add side singles line right here. The white line from regular court can be used as a doubles line. So right there, sorry for not being super precise, but this becomes a deuce side doubles line, and this becomes right here add side doubles line. And the last two lines that we have a service line right here, which is actually exactly the same as the regular court. Last three lines, we have a middle service line right here that also marks the middle line, and right here we have a baseline. Please ignore the line right here. I will talk about it a little bit later, but on the regular court we wouldn't have that line. We would just have the ones I have mentioned. Now, last thing to look at is a positioning. When we are serving, the server is supposed to stand behind the baseline. This is the proper setup for the deuce side serving position. So it's supposed to be close to the middle, just to the side, and you are serving that direction right there. And right here on the add side, serving position is right here, serving towards this side. For the returning would be right here on the side. So this is on the add side return position, and on the deuce side return position. Now returning, the same as serving. The only thing on the service in tennis, you are not allowed to be inside the court or even standing just a little bit on the line. You have to be behind the line. But on the return, there is no actual restriction on where you're supposed to stand. So this is just a general kind of rule of thumb, but especially for better players, they're going to start adjusting their position depending on what they're trying to achieve. And the last thing to look at real quick is so what's in and out. So this is a deuce side service box right here, right? So any ball that lands within that box, it's in when we are serving on the deuce side. And when it lands anywhere outside of that, this right here, right here, right here, right here, right here, these are all out. When we are talking about the add side, this is the add side service box on this side, right here. So anything that lands within that box, right here, right here, right here, it's in. When it lands right here, anywhere else but there, it's out. Now, the rule in tennis is that if the ball touches even a little bit the line, it means it's in. So anything that touches the line, it's in. Now, when we're talking about everything else, when we are playing points on the regular court after the serve, that means it's a full court, which in our case would be from the add sideline in singles to the baseline and to the deuce sideline. So anything right here, any ball that lands touching the line, not touching the line, but within this rectangle, it's going to be in. Anything that bounces outside right here, the first bounce, this is all out. And of course, if we hit in the net, it's out.